Here we are again, friends and family and my dear colleagues. Several times lately I have been asked again about the relationship between energy and longevity. Well, people who are searching for information very often end up in India. Because let's face it, India has manipulated the information the least possible, haven't changed it and haven't been influenced so much with the modern religions of Christianity and the single God opinion of Vatican. So we have different views coming out of there, and some of them are related directly to longevity and connecting the energy. For example, there is a widely spread belief that as we are born, we are given a certain amount of energy. The faster we use it, the shorter life we have, since we are being told that during a sexual act we lose a lot of energy. More sex you have, shorter life you will have. This thing with extreme usage of energy during the sex is being harbored also in many tribal beliefs. For example, here in South America, in the jungle, they believe that, of course, sex is going to draw energy from you. So if you are going to have some spiritual experience, if you want to do ayahuasca or any kind of other plant-induced work, one thing is you should not do is have sex, because you will be drawn, your energy will be drawn, and then you will suffer because you are not going to have the energy necessary for cleansing. I also explain very often that the cleansing process is very energy demanding. Now, is this true? Can actually sex shorten our age? Well, this is obviously not true, because the longest living individual that we know of, mentioned in our books, was Yangtze, or whatever his name is, from China, who lived 260 years. Now, he, during his life, married, I think, 22 or 24 times. So obviously, he practiced sex during his life and had very long life. So now, what is this energy talk? Because it has been noticed that certain things that we do are energy demanding, and then if we don't have energy, then we have either bad experience or high exhaustion, we don't feel well. But if some knowledge of this comes from ancient times, like it's the case from Indian religious beliefs, then they must be true, because people used to know truth. Well, I was told in my last shamanic experience in 2019 to forget everything that was ever written or said, everything that is known, because it is all laced with lies. Maybe not purposely, but Lie is a lie. Doesn't matter how you get to it. So we have to realize one thing. Number one, sexual act creates energy. It doesn't waste it. They say, yeah, but ejaculation. Well, when you ejaculate, you waste one thing, which is plasma. And if you are low on plasma, as I have mentioned, your blood is toxic, and more you go through these sexual experiences, you are stimulating high activity of particular organ, which in this case is going to be prostate. And if it cannot hydrate properly, it will dehydrate on a cellular level faster, and you will come up with problems. So people realize that, okay, more sexual active, faster it develops problems with urination and inflamed prostate. So, oh, must be bad. This is what I'm lately also writing about, is that we are back engineering things because we do not understand them. So we go to what we see. This is why we heavily depend on statistics to see if something works and how it works. Statistics will tell us. Statistic doesn't tell you because it leaves you many options. And then it's up to us to choose, okay, it's because of this and this, most likely. You never know for sure, because if you don't know how this mechanism works, you simply don't know the truth. Now, these yogis that tell you, okay, you should not masturbate, you should not have sex if you want to have a long life and healthy and be able to focus on your mind. At the same time, as they tell you this, they are eating crap. They are eating carbohydrates. Now, carbohydrates, if you follow my work, you know that they are switching completely your system around. They are reprogramming your cells. They are changing your genetic expression. And one of the important things is that your cells start running on fuel which you do not store. So during the day there is no problem. You can eat every 2 hours a small meal of carbohydrates and pop, you're going to work. Everything will work pretty much okay. If you have a heavy concentration work, you should eat every hour, hour and a half, because brain uses way more energy and will deplete this energy much faster. So you need to eat more often because you are not using the energy that your body stores, which is fat. You have reprogrammed yourself on sugar, which you cannot store, so you have to have multiple meals. Now, this is all fine and dandy during the day, but during the night when you are sleeping, when actually there is more energy available because your brain is out of equation, your brain is not thinking, you are not thinking, which uses huge amount of energy. So all this energy now is on disposition to your cells. And since hydrating process and cleansing process is energy demanding, well, this is why we always hydrate and cleanse and rejuvenate during the night. The brain is the factor. And now this is energy demanding. So can you eat when you are sleeping? You can't. Which means you cannot rebuild, you cannot repair yourself, you cannot hydrate, you cannot cleanse. You can do none of these things because you are energy deprived. So is it the sex or is it the food? Well, in many ways I'm proving and showing to you how it all depends on the food. This is why, you know, we are looking at longevity and, oh, cinnamon. No. Now the brand new lie is about turmeric. You know, the bio-lies from so-called BioTrust company. All these clowns now are telling you, oh, longevity, you buy these pills loaded with turmeric and this is gonna keep you young and make you young. Utter nonsense, stupidity. This is actually making you older because it prevents cellular hydration even during the night or day when you can. If you even have some energy, you could be able to hide it, but you can when you have this poison in your blood circulating until you get rid of it, and this creates diuretic effect. So you're basically you are drying yourself, dehydrating. It doesn't work the way we think things work. And we think things work the way we do because of the bad knowledge we are given in our schooling system. Doctors have no clue. The only people that know a little bit about digestion are veterinarians, because they are the only ones who really study digestion. Dietitians, they studied baloney based on lies from medical books. So, no truth there. And it is very simple to see. When you have animals, you check their age, you check their youth. Just start with a chicken, okay? In a 6 month, the chicken becomes ready to lay egg. And then she will be laying eggs if she lives in proper conditions, another 10, 11, up to 12 years. So she is going there about 25 times her youth. It's her final time of living. If you look at Amazon parrots, they take about 5 to 6 years before they start laying eggs. And they live in nature 110 up to 150, 160 years. Wolf, 8 to 9 months, but they live over 20 years, up to 30. We are being told, no, they live 6, 7 years, but here we have a miracle on YouTube. Here we have a miracle, this wolf, female wolf, is living in captivity, and we are feeding her. Look, she miraculously lives 18 years. But when you see her, some teeth are missing, she has rheumatism, hard to walk, she's losing eyesight. Why? Because they are giving her the junk food, the pellets, the stupid carbohydrates. No wonder. And even like this, she lives 18 years. They say, no, only 6, 7 years in nature. Yeah, well, they shoot the animals. They hunt them. They destroy their lives. But capacity for life, it's always 20 to 25 times, up to 30 times of the youth. This is standard for every living being. This is how the genetic system is being programmed. And you have now every expert on this planet that talks about health of human beings says, oh, you eat the vegetarian diet and you can live the ripe age up to 100 and 110 years. Ripe age, this is not even 10 times our youth. What is about it's 20, 25, 30 times? As the Bible mentions, 600 and plus years. Carbohydrate, the forbidden, biblical forbidden fruit, which is food actually, is not fruit. Sex has absolutely nothing to do with this. Absolutely nothing. But of course, if you are glucoholic, if you have adjusted your system, as 99.999% of people did, we all start eating carbohydrates because we are told that this is good food for us, and we like sugar, of course. So we live short lives, and we cannot rebuild properly because during the night, when the rebuilding is supposed to happen, rejuvenation, we are out of energy because we don't have the sugar that we have reprogrammed our body to work on. And this is more than obvious. So if you are glucoholic, and now, yes, you want to do some ceremony where you will need a lot of energy, and your cells cannot use your fat properly because you have reprogrammed yourself on carbohydrates, then you have to be very careful with your energy. And then if you have a sex and you create energy, but you lose your reserve fuel for it, so now you are depleted until your body again creates it. I mean, you start wasting it, but you cannot recreate it because you are using the wrong fuel. And this is why it's a widely known, for example, here in forest, you have to load up on carbohydrates. Even in the morning, before ayahuasca, plain, pure carbohydrate, which is basically cooked bananas. So at night, you have the energy. Of course, if you had a sex and you created all this energy and you depleted your reserves, then you will not be able to make the energy, but you cannot make it anymore anyway, even if you didn't have a sex, because once when you stop eating, your energy source is gone, and you cannot properly do it on your fat, so you are doomed. So when you eat something, now don't have sex, don't do anything, wait, keep your energy packed in the cells, don't even breathe much, just relax until the ceremony starts. So then during the ceremony, that can, usually it's 3 hours, but I have been on some ceremonies that were 5 hours. It's a long time and that's hard work. So yes, you will be energy depleted. Doesn't happen to me. I don't need the whole day of ayahuasca, and I don't even need the day after, because I don't need to. My cells are running on fat and I have more than I need. So that's a fact. The thing is that we just don't know the truth. We are being lied to, and we accept those lies, and now it's very hard for us to accept the truth. This is why I always say, are you ready for it? Well, 90% people are still not ready for it. They are waking up, but realizing to eat what until recently they have been told not to. The animal fats were bashed until last year is when they started first saying, okay, well, maybe it's okay to eat some eggs, but it looks like they are not raising cholesterol. Of course they are not raising cholesterol. My friend Zachary, doctor also, from United States, he just sent me a report of his father he went for checkup, his triglycerides are high, some note from his doctor. Okay, blood work is okay, but do not eat much of animal fat to drop triglycerides. Complete disconnect. Animal fats are basically triglycerides, but they break down into fatty acids, and what your body does is completely different thing. This is why things do not happen the way as doctors think they will happen. They give you recommendation and your health goes to hell. Why? Because recommendation is baloney. Because it doesn't work this way. So, has energy something to do with our aging process? Of course. But sex has nothing to do with it. It's the food. It's the type of food that you are eating. It is the forbidden food, the biblical forbidden food that we are now consuming more than ever. And that prevents our healing process to take place. Even the maintenance, nothing is working right. Because all this happens at night when you cannot eat. So you are energy depleted during this process. That is very much energy demanding. So, no wonder, once when we start eating carbohydrates, our age has dropped from 600 and plus to 200 and minus years of age. And now as we are gobbling just carbohydrates, gobbling, now our age is measly 50, 55 years. And half of it is followed with chronic diseases. Because bodies just cannot work on plant food. If you mix it with real food, okay, you can live 150, 120 years. But less real food that you're eating and more of this plant food you gobble up, the shorter and more miserable life you will have. And this is fact. I have more and more vegans as a clients, and as soon as they tell me that they have been vegans or vegetarians for 20 years or 15 years and vegans for 5, 6 years, I know it's going to be hard recovery because they're extremely acidic and dehydrated. Well, again, we can bring the horse to the water, but we cannot make the horse drink. This is up to them. Here are the facts. All you have to do is try. Thank you for listening. Till next time. Love you all.